Hi, welcome to part 2 of the TransWorld trip.
Woo!
Let's go. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Katie, talk from there.
Okay, talking. I'm talking. I'm talking. There you go. Talking. Now what?
You're talking.
Yeah, I'm talking. How long does this thing go?
Just say it.
Words. 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 Words.
Okay. Hi, welcome back to Sammy Wally. Today is a bit of a different video, as you can see behind me. That's the wrong way. There we go. Today we are going to actually be covering TransWorld, a convention for haunt enthusiasts and haunt artists. For like haunted houses, haunted trails, haunted forests. So it's just like this place where a bunch of spooky artists kind of get together and show off their craft, show what they really do well. And I thought it would be fun if we did a video on it. 2 videos, technically, actually. About the whole trip. Just the whole trip up to St. Louis and about the convention itself. Because I don't know a single thing about it. I know the basics. I know what to expect, sort of. But I am not as well versed as she is. So this is the subject of the trip. Tell a little bit about yourself.
Hi. I'm I'm just a haunted house makeup artist, and I've been doing it for a couple years. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. And I know him. This thing. I know him. And this was his idea, and he just threw me under the bus. I don't know what to talk about.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Kat. Nice to meet you guys. He'll also hear me called Katie, but a lot of the professionals that I work with will call me Kat. It's just a word of mouth business, so I changed my name because there's a bunch of Katies out there. And there's a bunch of cats too, but not as many, I hope, as Katies. So if you hear him call me that, that's why.
Lots of cats and dogs out there. But anyway, we hope that you will stick around for the journey. Now, you might be watching this, and it might also be the intro for Kat's channel. So if you're watching this on Kat's channel, this is part 2. Go back to part 1. It'll make a lot more sense since that is only half of the trip. But thank you all for joining. Any final thoughts?
I'm excited to go. This is my first year. I've been wanting to go for a couple years, so I'm really excited. Yay, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. In our last video, we explored TransWorld on the surface level. What it looked like, what was there, and how the entire ordeal worked. In this episode, we will get into the nitty-gritty of the thoughts of Kat and I's experience. Interviews ahead, more glimpses into the convention itself, and much more fun to be had. Welcome back to TransWorld 2025.
My first impressions were it was really good. The centerpiece thing that we saw out front made me really excited. And then when we got into it and started looking at certain parts of it, it was really disappointing because a lot of them seemed lower quality and just kind of thrown together. So it was mostly disappointing, I'd say, because it was a lot of like the same stuff over and over again, but just by like 3 different people, which is pretty boring. And it's like, same stick with silicone masks, do this. The half mask thing was cool that we saw at that one. Like, how they fixed that and reinvented it a little bit. And I like some of the actor things, but it seems to just be like most of it, I would probably feel really bad paying those prices for, because it would be really not worth it. Some of them, though, there are like a few hidden gems. Like, I think Sapien Studios, I think they had higher quality stuff, because if you looked at like their pumpkin spiders and their spider corns and their mushrooms and even their larger things, you couldn't necessarily see like a seam line on any of those, and they were like silicone or latex. I think some of them are latex, but I think some of their babies are silicone just by the way they move. But some of those are really good, but if you contrast it with some of those other things, like take those bodies of like Hansel and Gretel from that one studio who was charging quite a bit more for, I would say, less detail or a lot less handwork on it. Because maybe they had to make the clothes? I doubt it. And those look like just like thrifted things. Again, but they had like really big wonky seams, and I don't know, I guess it was just really disappointing.
To start out our second day at TransWorld, Kat and I actually became a straight-haired power couple, thanks to Laura, her mom, who did her hair, and then thanks to Kat for doing my hair. We stopped quickly by a certain famous bullseye store in search of a bag strap for Kat. And then we were off for our second and final day at TransWorld. I got the pleasure of interviewing Kat's family, as seen before in the last video. However, today, we have a couple new ones to introduce themselves and to talk through their experience with the genre and with Kat's own work.
Hi, my name is Shawn. Period.
What else do you want to know?
That's perfect. if that's how you're introducing yourself.
You see where I get it from?
I'm a Libra. My sign is Libra. I was born in October. I'm a Gen X. I play games. I live stream. I can drop my channel in here if you'd like. Yeah. I do tie-dye. It's very nice. It was a great trip. I liked some of the snacks we had. It was very good. A couple gas stations weren't that great. A little cold the first day. Buc-ee's was nice. We got some roast beef. Actually, it wasn't roast beef. It was barbecue beef. It was good. I got the regular because the double is too big. I can't eat it all in one sitting.
I wait till you're done.
I can never be done if you want. I've taken 8 weeks of public speaking classes.
How have you helped Katie in her love for horror?
How have I helped Katie in her love of horror? Oh, let's see. I've been helping Katie pretty much all the time since I'm her dad. So, helped her by being a guinea pig so she could paint stuff on me, help mix stuff, go to the store and buy stuff so she could make gelatin, oozy stuff. Let's see what else. Sent her to college to a special effects school. Christmas vacation when she was in school, she would come with a roll of duct tape and saran wrap and say, "Here, saran wrap me, duct tape me. I need to make a mold. Here, would you put this plaster on my face? How are my burns look? How's my my bruises look?" Yeah, there's a lot. So for a long time, that's the answer.
What's your best story about Katie and her projects?
Ooh, the best story with Katie and her projects. Okay, I got a good one. So, she was doing makeup. So this would have been when she was still in high school or just finishing high school. and her brother was on the football team, and his friends were roughhousing in the football locker room, and he asked Katie to put this giant bruise all over his neck so he could send a picture to the kid saying, "Look what you did to me." And then it was all this gnarly, bruised, awful stuff.
And so I had her give me a big old bruise whenever, because I had a friend who was roughhousing, this is middle school. He was roughhousing me and he hit me in the neck. He goes, "Get over it." So I did the bruise. I was like, my parents are freaking out. And then I just turned off my phone for the night. And he freaked out. And it was it was a whole thing. Yeah.
So she did that. That was a pretty good one. She also did one for me when she was practicing her burns. And she put it, I don't know if she put it on my leg or my arm or something. And it was this big, gnarly, oozy burn spot. And then I went out to my motorcycle by the exhaust pipe and took a picture and said, don't put your leg on this. And everybody went crazy on Facebook. So those were a couple of pretty good ones. Or she would actually, here's another one. She would dress up in full makeup, and this was not October, right? So this was, call it January, doesn't matter. And then she would drive through Burger King to get something in full makeup. And she got known as the, special effects girl through Burger King because she liked, doing that, scaring them.
Do you think horror is an up-and-coming art form?
Do I think horror is an up-and-coming art form? I don't know. I mean, I can see where fine art, if you're talking about painting and stuff like that, right? There's a genre that kind of mixes over. I don't know if it's up and coming because there's a lot of legends from the past that kind of set the tone. So I think it's probably still very popular. I'm not sure up and coming. Maybe not.
I don't know.
He's not gonna do it for you.
He's not gonna do it for me.
Dave? Is he late?
He's camera shy. Who are some of the people that we met today?
We met the very talented owner of Distortions, who was really good and inspiring, because it was nice to see someone who was really passionate and still very humble, and gave me hope that I could actually break out into this field and not give half-assed things. Sorry, but honestly, half that stuff was pretty half-assed. Oh, we met Darkseid. That was really cool. I really like Darkseid. He handles himself very well. I saw him take on a very challenging social media post where he basically handled it very well, while some creators actually go after them. So mad respect to him. And stuff he does, granted, I don't think I personally would buy that stuff just because I can somewhat make copies like that very easily, because essentially it's just latex. But to the average person who probably doesn't have that much stuff laying around and doesn't just have copious amounts of random faces at their disposal, I think it's very fair, and I do love all of the detail and time that he takes into his creations, and there is definitely passion there. He is probably one of the ones, again, a diamond in, not the mud, but what are those fake crystals? I don't know, but a real diamond, a bunch of fake diamonds, but a natural versus a lab grown diamond. It's they're all still good, but some of them really stand out. His was definitely the one that stood out. He had these really cool lamps. I don't even know how he did it. I understood the lamp shades, but the bases of them, no idea. So that was really cool, and I think He was really good. It was really fun meeting him, talking to him a bunch. What else did I meet? I don't think we really met anyone else. Yeah, none of the vendors. And we met up with my haunted house people. Yeah, you met my boss. How was that?
It was good.
That was all? Okay.
I saw a few of them when I was on that trip.
Oh.
Colton. I already met a few of them.
Oh.
They don't remember me. Surely they don't remember me.
That's fair.
And I saw a lot of them. Now, I am not a genius, but I'm pretty sure it's a bad thing to put that right next to the noisiest section in this entire place.
I'm Laura Jones. I'm Katie's mom. I can't do that. That's all.
What parts of Katie's fascination with horror do you absolutely love?
The truth is I don't love any of them. I don't like to see the skin hanging on the wall. It scares me. I don't like any of it. I like that she likes it. There you go. Is that true? Is that truthful? Is that truthful?
Yeah, that's not right. She really didn't like the smiley face sun with the blood dripping down it.
Yeah.
Right on top of it.
Or behind the sink there used to be, we put really pretty like fake tile up there, and then all of a sudden all this blood is just everywhere. And all her dead skin is hanging up on the walls everywhere. And I turn that corner, and there it all is. If you're not careful, there's dead gross skin hanging on you. I don't care for that.
Do you think horror is an up-and-coming art form?
I don't like horror. Like at all. I think it's already here. Because every time I see it on TV and stuff, I go away. And I'm never upstairs anymore. Because it's on the TV all the time.
How has the trip to TransWorld gone so far?
Well, it's been great because we've got to know Izzy so much better. And it's been fun. No air conditioning in the hotel has not been fun. It's nice to see Katie happy and do things and find things that she likes to do. So that's good.
What sets a haunt apart from the others?
Well, that's really subjective. Oh, is this my opinion or just what does make it apart?
Yeah. All of this is your opinion.
Oh. It's my opinion.
This whole trip is subjective.
Oh. Well, I didn't know if you wanted, like, professional or just want my opinion.
What are your thoughts?
Oh. Again, I think it just depends on what is out there. Because what sets it apart is different for each area. So, like, what sets mine apart is that it's a river, so you have a water element. But what set my other one apart, my first one, is that it had a bus. So it's kind of just what's your main feature. Or I feel like sometimes you have to be careful when it's like characters, like you have a main character. We saw that with Fear Farm a while back. With a clown, I can't remember his name, and I was such a huge fan, and I have his autographed. Flinch the clown. With Flinch, he was such a prominent character in a haunted house, and then stuff happened behind the scenes, and he was no longer there. So then it was kind of just people stopped talking about that haunted house. So it's kind of just one of those hard things. And I was also at a different haunted house where they tried to have these like main characters as their like focal point, and it was okay sometimes, but there is only so much an actor can do. So it's kind of hard. And then again, it's also a person, so stuff could happen, and then they could just drop off the face of the earth and never come back, or just move to a different haunt. And like, well, what do you do with that? So all of their business that they literally loved is going to there. Because if it was just to see them, then it's kind of pointless. Both haunted houses switch it up so often, it's hard to like really pick what makes a haunted house different from the rest. You know? I mean, for personal preference, I would say safety. Like, if I know a haunted house is taking, like, the proper safety precautions, we had a talk with some people in line about how the fire marshal was pain in the booty. But it's like, I understand that. And it's like, haunted houses are, like, dangerous, and I get, like, it's expensive to do all that stuff. And why I think some of the safety regulations could be, like, bent a little bit, given, like, the situation of what it is. Genuinely, I do think that there needs to be some accountability with haunted houses. Like, everyone should be able to use a fire extinguisher. That was one of the priorities that we had to do in a haunted house. Or if it's, like, a haunted trail, like, know who to call. Like, know immediately who to go to. Just to, like, safety priority kind of thing. Because I don't think making money off of someone else's pain or, like, putting someone in danger just for a quick bug is not worth anything. It's not worth it. So it's like, so safety is very important, and it's like, you really want to go all the way to that. And it's like, yeah, you can use some things that I think could be more lenient on, but some things I would be, like, very drastically like to see in haunted houses. So I think that is probably, like, a cut above the rest. If the haunted houses could make it safe, I'm gonna angle people toward that one. And if I know it's not safe, I'm gonna say you can still go to it, but be very careful. Because while these are very dangerous places as well to go to, like, you're in a haunted house, it's probably one of the not safest places to go. It was like, if you could make it a tiny bit safer, why wouldn't you? But some people just do not give two F's about anything other than money, and will throw literally anyone's kindness down the drain. So I personally will always promote and talk good more, and try to promote more, recommend more safety ones where I know if something were to go wrong, they're not gonna get ignored or stuck or trapped somewhere, than a haunted house who kind of just takes safety with a grain of salt, or finds loopholes to not necessarily meet all those criterias just because it saves a quick dollar.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Izzy, otherwise known as Sammy Wally. I am the director of this whole thing. You've already seen me.
What was the most unexpected thing you saw or did at TransWorld?
Let's see. I wasn't expecting the giant puppetry. There was a lot of, like, there was, like, this pumpkin skeleton guy, a Wendigo, as well as, what was the other one? Some other creature. Skeleton. And they were all, like, you know, held together with puppets and stuff, or puppetry things. And it was very much like walking into, like, a horrific Jim Henson workshop. And I was amazed by that alone. They kind of, like, operated themselves without humans and with humans, which was boggling my mind. She told me a little bit about all these little things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is nuts. What were some things you didn't expect to see at TransWorld, if any?
Honestly, what shocked me was so many, like, repurposing things, like Renaissance fairs. Good example. Like, you go to a Renaissance fair and there's always these big grand things about, oh, buy your outfit there, you know what I'm talking about? Like, they have the sections of the tops, the bottoms, the this and this and blah 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 blah, like, all the way down. They had a lot of those, and it's not like, it was just, like, repurposed garbage. Like, I get, like, haunt stuff is only supposed to last, like, a year and a half because it's used and stuff. But it's like, if you were gonna pay that much for something, why would you get, like, a cheap shit one instead of, like, a decent one that's gonna last and actually hold up and not even need repairs? And it's kind of just like, with, like, the dresses and all this other stuff, it's kind of just like, these are really simple items, but they're probably just got off, like, Temu or something and just put, like, a brand name on. I wrote them down to look them up because I was really curious. But it's like, they were the same items being resold and resold and resold and resold. And, like, clown stuff. I know clown stuff are sometimes made by Canned because very talented people, and I follow them, they will do one at a time, handmade, specifically for that person or specifically for that look. Not to say that all of them were like that, but just the ones bigger, like, there were just a lot of, like, resellers that I guess I didn't really understand. Because when I hear people say, oh, I spent a lot of money on the specific costume, I expect them to have, like, a quality item. Like, there were some really distressed aprons. Like, not that, like, aprons are super expensive, but they had distressed on them. Everyone looked a little bit different. Stuff like that. So you could see that, like, quality kind of went into that. Like, there was a human element that took time and thought a little bit into each tear, into each blood stain. But, like, if you want specific items, it's not hard to do horror. So, specifically on costumes, you don't need expensive stuff. So, unless it's, like, key characters. We talked about yesterday, like, the focal ones. Like, your key character makes sense to have more money put into that specific character for that specific haunt. Like, we had a bird character. I don't think I can say it. I don't want to say, like, things because it was a specific one for that haunted house, and they're really not known well. But it was a specific bird one, and then they made it, and it was super one of the more expensive costumes. So it had, like, wings and everything on it, and, like, a really nice mask for it. That was, like, their primary character one. But I don't think so. Like, that I can see spending a little bit more money on all of these things, but it is pretty barbaric. It's, considering how far the costume industry has come in itself. I expected, I think, more costuming tips and tricks, not necessarily tailoring each one to the specific actor, but instead of just having them slipping on and doing, like, different sizes, making, like, multiple size ones, doing more corset backs on one, because you're not doing quick changes, you're not doing anything super substantial. And corset materials, while they are a pain in the butt to make, they are substantial in pricing, and these prices are you, like, we're at the top of the top, and, like, your charges are also going to be they're show discounts, I guess, which are okay, but, like, are they really discounts if you have to pay the entry fee and travel costs and all that stuff? That's like quotes. But you hit, like, the top lines. Like, you have professional makeup, you have silicone mask, you have almost, you saw the distorted, you have, like, top of the line animatronics. Why are our costumes still so barbaric? There's just, like, small little tips and tricks that I think from Broadway or, like, traveling places that we can learn from, and that are pretty cost efficient to do. Because if you look at a corset, it allows the size to go from, like, a couple size ranges. If you look at a bridal's example, it's going to be a corset. Now, boys are a little bit harder, but a button-up shirt, you can always stuff it in and everything like that, and a lot of them have details on them. But again, it's the cheaper stuff for the background characters, but if it's a main character, spend a little bit more money on it. But again, you still shouldn't be spending, like, a lot of money on costumes, especially when there's so much stuff getting thrown out, donated, or just trying to get rid of stuff. Like, you find clothes all the time at Goodwill And I get it, like, it sucks to go digging through all that stuff. But you find really good stuff there. You just have to be, like, committed to it or learn how to sew. It's really frustrating seeing that we have such a high demand in everything else, and the costumes are still allowed to be barbaric. And they're still not. There's nothing that's, like, really being talked about in costumes. Really. And I think that's really an area that people need to focus on more. Because I really think those elevate an actor. Because it's all about getting the actor in the zone. If they have a bad costume, but great makeup, it's going to make kind of feel off balance. Usually you either have an outfit with a supporting makeup or a leading makeup with a supporting outfit. And a lot of times those two kind of get disjointed because they don't know what's fits, they don't know what's that, so then they have just a bunch of extra costumes that they don't really know what to do with. And extras means extra money not spent.
One by one, we made it through and met some of the coolest people we could have met in a place like this. Yet, there was one standout, one famous man to rule them all, and I was thrilled. Behold,
Oh, that's awesome.
Freddy Fazbear.
There's the siren Mom was talking about. This one right here.
Oh, that's the siren. Sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead.
It's called the Banshee. I only chew.
What did you see at the convention that you would want to have seen more of, or you hope to see more of in the future?
Animatronics. The animatronics there were like really cool. There's this whole entire place dedicated to them called Distortion. Thank you. Distortion. They had all sorts of animatronics on display, and the dark room as well had all sorts of animatronics like leaping at you and stuff, and I could see that they were on like swivels that lurked forward, and they kind of like do these spontaneous actions as they like come at you, and I thought that was really cool, and I definitely want to see more of that in the future.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good.
What are some souvenirs you got from today?
You got me my anniversary gift today. So I guess that was a souvenir. It was a Roscoe pumpkin. It was really cute. And then I got a pumpkin spider, which I was also really excited about, but that one's going to be shipping to me. They sold it a lot faster than I thought they would, so that was my bad. I got a little maggot. Yeah, a maggot. I really love that one. I love my little maggot. It was cute. I got a dove head. I think that's all the souvenirs I got. But I also got paint, but that's not really a souvenir because that's kind of for work. We got those gummy worms, but those weren't really souvenirs either. It's so sour. Let's just look. Little bug. Yeah, and the bug. Yeah, that's all I got. All I got.
How do you think the trip will shape your future videography and filmmaking, video making in the future?
This project is actually a leap from what I've done in the past. I have never done a video completely, one, in public, and two, about an event like this. I technically had a video, unlisted now, but a video of me just walking around a Christian convention from like 10 years ago. That one was just me holding a camera to my face. This is actually talking about an event, actually gathering notes on things to talk about, taking photos of absolutely everything, and video wise I even have photos of their design and logo of almost every single place that I took a photo, just so I can give them credit at the end of this project. It is a leap in editing, it is a leap in things I've done. I've never done the interview format before, so in all honesty, this is like the first time I can really branch out into something I really want to do, something I have a passion of.
Oh, that's so good.
So, I wasn't allowed to attend the seminar, mainly because it cost money. Tell me about the seminar.
Someone talked for an hour. Literally, she just read a packet and a PowerPoint.
That's it.
Pretty much. Good information. Don't know if it was worth $65 for me, or $55 that I would have paid. Don't really know.
So you've already talked about a few of these things, but if you were to summarize, what would be the three best props you saw at the conference? If you had to boil it down to three overall top winners, what would they be and why?
There was a mask there that I would have died to have, but it was a little expensive. It was a full-blown, looked realistic Venom head. Like, it looked like actual symbiote. And I would have loved to have that one. That one was a standout to me for sure. The same place that I got my skinned face hat, my like Texas Chainsaw Massacre hat, had this lampshade made out of faces. And that one was super well done. I turned the corner and I was like, whoa, that is cool. And it grabbed my attention right away. And I didn't even realize it was by Darkseid, which is like this super famous guy. And I was amazed by that. I was like, whoa. And it got my attention right away. And that's actually how I found the hat, because I was talking to the guy and I realized he was wearing one of those skin face hats. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I would love to have something like that, because that I think is the perfect horror item to walk away from the event with. My third prop. Let's see, there were a lot of good ones. I really liked Sapien Studios. I really liked some of their work. One of the ones that really stood out was their candy cane monster, which is such like a little thing. I know Katie is giving me a weird look, but it's such a small thing to, be on the mind. But the candy cane monster was cool. There wasn't anything special about him. It wasn't like fantastic or like completely out of the ordinary. Yeah, that's candy corn. Did I?
No, you said candy cane monster.
Oh, I said
Candy
candy cane. Candy corn. Candy
Okay,
corn.
if it's a candy cane monster, then that's like a crossover. You can use it for Christmas and Halloween. It's like 2 for 1.
No, it was a candy corn.
Corn monster. Okay. That's pretty neat. I mean, definitely original.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely original.
Well, yeah, she hand sculpted him.
That one's just it kind of was under the radar, but I was like, oh, that one's really well done, and it's just kind of like a mixture of cute and horrific, and I really like that. With the second day over, how is TransWorld? Next time, use someone that's not listening to your voice in the headphones.
You didn't hear me?
No, because you weren't talking.
I was.
Really?
Yeah.
Because this background noise that I'm hearing
Darn
said
it.
otherwise.
Darn it. You're the worst. What was the question?
Oh my gosh. With your second day over, how do you feel about TransWorld?
I feel okay about it. I mean, I can see how for some it's worth the $100 to come and do it, and it's worth all this stuff. I don't necessarily know if I'll come back as like someone who just to look again. I might come back as like a vendor, if not next year, like 2 years maybe. But I don't personally think it's for me so much as it is for other people. If that makes sense.
So actually, fun fact about the entire trip. This trip's weekend actually coincided with Kat and I's own anniversary. And so, after the events of our last day at TransWorld, we went to the St. Louis Galleria to Build-A-Bear workshop for our anniversary gifts for one another. She got a weenie dog, and I a fat pig. We shopped around for a bit, and then we set off for our last night in St. Louis, Missouri. Does this change your view on haunts?
I mean, no, not really. Some of them are crap, some of them are great. Pretty much how it is. Like I said, there's like some people who are really into it and want to like do the best, do like really implement all their skills that you know to make a good haunt and do all the tricks and learn as much as possible. Other people just want to like throw as little money as possible and be like, good enough, it's got blood. Perfect. Cheapest thing. Great. So I feel like until you get everyone caring enough, you're always going to have some just like real shit stuff. But you know, it's just the nature of the place.
That night we went fast to sleep after some more interview conducting, some exciting souvenir sharing, and some good food in our bellies. Our TransWorld experience was finally over. Any final thoughts on the trip?
No. We'll see how it is going home.
I'll spin on that again.
If you want to do a sign off, you can.
Final thoughts. Seems like it was a pretty good trip. We got good traffic for being a Mardi Gras weekend. Luckily, where we stayed in conjunction to where the event was held was actually pretty good. We didn't run into any major traffic, so I think all in all it went pretty well. Am I done?
You're done. Yep.
Signing out. Stay classy, San Diego.
Any final thoughts on the trip?
Pedro was the best. My legs really hurt. The food sucked at the convention center. I think there was a lot of garbage that I wasn't expecting. It was just a bunch of like garbage thrown onto stuff. Or like spray foam painted red with crap stuck in it. Sometimes little crap stuck in it. And then there was just like stuff that didn't really like belong there, I would say. The Christmas section just weirded me out. Like, what was the point of a Christmas section? Because it wasn't like, we're like, look at all our pretty lights and displays. Like, I don't really understand it, because it wasn't anything like, it didn't aid in like a horror. Like, TransWorld was like all spooky and stuff, and then people are starting to get into like a horror Christmas. So maybe if they did something like that, like how they're trying to do like a spirit Christmas, but it's really disjointed. I mean, like, what is the point of all that stuff if they're just gonna be like, sit back and look at all my pretty little lights? I don't see the point, but whatever.
Anything else?
Nah. I'm good. Bye.
TransWorld, the spectacle that it was, is now done. We started the long trip back home with nothing too terribly notable or unsaid.
So, what are your closing thoughts on the TransWorld conference there?
TransWorld is a very great place. I was very pleasantly surprised by it. It's very surreal, walking around. Like, you'll see, like, people on, like, morgue, slates. And, like, this guy, this stood out this morning. This guy was like, pay me money so you can sleep in the coffin for 15 minutes. And I look over and there's just this giant coffin. And I'm like, that is insane. And like, also like the section's completely dedicated to animatronics and technical stuff. There is an entire section dedicated to the loud noises that you hear at haunted houses and stuff like that. And it is the worst thing that you can ever walk by, but it was amazing, and amazing to see like everyone's passion about a thing that not many people like, you know, pay attention to and are like, oh, what really does go into a haunted house? So, you know, seeing something like that on an outside perspective was absolutely extraordinary.
Good. All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, so I tried to stick to a script while doing these videos, and this part has no script, so we're gonna see how it goes. But I wanted to show you some of the things I got at TransWorld. So First of all, you may have seen in the last video, but I got this hot sauce from Headstone Hot Sauce. It's red jalapeno, and it is, oh, it smells very good. Oh man, I'm salivating at the smell. Ooh. It's really good. It's red jalapeno. He had me try a habanero one as well, and I thought that one was very good too, but from taste wise I chose this one. But if I wanted a real punch, I would have taken the habanero one as well. Yeah, let's see. I mentioned earlier that it was Kat and I's anniversary. And so she got me this little guy. It's a shoulder buddy. And they had a few of them. But I'm pretty partial to axolotls. And so she got me this axolotl one, which I thought was super cute. Let me fix your back leg there, buddy. There we go. And so it just kind of rides your shoulder. It's super cute. So I wanted something creepy. Something a little ooky, kooky. And so I got this, which I think is really cool. This came from Dark Seed Creations, and he did a lot of forget the serial killer's name, but Ed something, Ed Geis, I think. He did a lot of replications of his work, and he told us that this is real stitching, which is why it looks so good. And this was also the only one with like a blotchy face. So I got it, and I was really excited about that. But I found out that one of Kat's friends was eyeing this hat because of the blotchy feature, which is why I got it. She was a little disappointed, but happy that someone she knew had it. Also, what I got was this little fungal ice cream. In fact, I showed in the last video that there was ice cream horror, and this is part of their exhibit as well. I think it is super cool. I might have some better photos because the lighting isn't terribly good to show you. But there's like blood and stuff all over it. Oh, there you kind of see it. And I thought it was really cool. Tastes fungally. But anyway, I think that is just about all that I got at TransWorld. I'm going to go ahead and keep this on for the duration of the video. Kind of a spooky reminder of TransWorld. I look like a trucker now.
I feel like he needs a lollipop.
There we go. We are a happy family. And I really think that's just about it for the experience. I've said my piece, but I will leave you with a conclusion. TransWorld was a special event in my life, and even now, I look back at it with albeit tired eyes, but as well as fond memories. It was an experience so surreal, so magical and odd, and absolutely magnificent. This trip of oddities, curiosities, and creeps, spookies, and ghouls was no longer the present, but a memory. Lucky for us, we have plenty of mementos to remember it by. Honestly, I don't think I'm really changed by this experience. I mean, I like horror, but I don't love horror. You know? I really don't think any of this creepy stuff is for me. TransWorld. Out. Hey, thanks for watching the TransWorld videos. If you got this far, then obviously you kind of liked it or felt obligated to watch it. If you did like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Not just on Kat's channel, but my channel as well, Sammy Wally. And like both videos. That would help us a ton. And please comment on both videos. A lot of people don't, feel the need to comment something. But tell us, like, your own experience. Or say how much you loved it. Or how much you hated it even. Hate gets us more views. That's a terrible thing to say. I shouldn't have said that. But I appreciate all of you guys. And please, Kat does amazing work on this channel, and I think she would love more attention, more, share it with your friends, share her stuff, show people her clicker spider. I love the clicker spider. As you can see by that mask over there, that is one of my favorite things. And yeah, if you like it, just show it to somebody. Share it to your Facebook, or if you feel so inspired by it, make your own stuff. Creativity is sparse these days, and I would love to see you and Kat continue. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I don't know why you're here, but if you haven't seen it yet, it should be right here. If not, have a good day. Alright, well, I'm signing off for Cat Jones today. Y'all have a good one. I just hit that light. And that's how we're gonna end this. Wow, okay.